My name's Eddie Price. I'm one of the promoters of the Haunted Hickory Paranormal Conference. I'm here with one of our guests, Angela Moore. She's a psychic from Marion. It's good to have you back. You were here last year. You were a big hit.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So, what have you been up to in the last year?
Well, besides becoming a grandmother, I've been doing the same sort of thing I always do, which is seeing folks and, talking through their things and seeing what I see, a little paranormal investigation here and there. Same kind of things, the life of the psychic.
Excellent. Well, let's start at the beginning. How did you get involved in this? When did you know you were psychic?
Well, I've always been this way. I just thought everyone else was too, and I actually think they are. I still think that this is part of human nature and human beings are meant to be intuitive. I think we've gotten away from it, but I always knew that I was. But when I was little, I used to have a lot of experiences, and then when I was a little bit in junior high, some things, I used to kid and say, "Oh, I'm so psychic," but I was playing. But then when I was about 34, and really I had a lot of changes in my life, that's when I really noticed that I couldn't really say that I was just like everyone else.
Were they traumatic changes? Sometimes I hear that causes...
It was a growing spell, let's say, where I sort of feel like I became a different person, and which is not, that, I can't talk, it's not that I'm going to say it right in a minute. A lot of people, let me say it this way, go through that about age 34 or 35. They will actually go through a time when they just shed the person that was and walk into the skin of a new person, especially with women. And so I think it might have been a natural thing that I was going to experience at that time, and it did activate. And yeah, it became a lot of tumultuous activity did occur, and I think it fed that. And then I think becoming more intuitive, more empathic, basically, also, and turned around and created more of the tumultuous energy. So it kind of was a cycle.
Now, how do your abilities manifest?
Well, I seem to just sometimes have a knowing, and I like that best because I don't think about it. In other words, I'll think I know something, I remember something, but people will tell me I didn't know that, but it's just I think I did. That's when I like it best because I don't have any worry attached to it. It's just something I think I know that turns out to be right. So that's the best, and it's probably not the most common way I get it. The other way I get things is I just get a sense of it. I see it. I hear things sometimes. It's just you have this feeling that provokes other sensations. So it's different ways. It's different ways, depending on whether or not you're focusing or whether or not. Now, the best way really is when I'm not trying, and you're just minding your own business, and your mind is kind of open, and things just start filtering in, and I'll start thinking about a certain situation, a certain thing, a certain person, not thinking, just kind of having to live there, and then later that person will come to see me, or certain things will take place, those things will happen, and it's exactly, oh, now it all makes sense, now I get it. But you don't always understand while it's happening what is going on in your head till later, and you click.
Do you ever have negative experiences with it?
Yes, you do. Sometimes if you hit someone's energy, for example, that's coming to you for assistance perhaps, and that person is in a really negative place, or maybe, they've got a lot of energy that's not really good around them or whatever, you might get, a vibe that's like, doesn't feel well. Or you have sometimes now a different kind of negative energy, such as people who are grieved, and sometimes you have to kind of feel what they feel in order to really help them. And that's very difficult, but sometimes too, sometimes you can get into a place like this where you're doing a paranormal thing, and sometimes there are playful or wayward entities that would like to play with you or like to really just have fun. And my body, your body, all human beings' body are very sensitive to such things, and it can really create really bad feelings of great fear. Even logically, you may think, I'm in control, it doesn't matter. Your body doesn't perceive it that way. And to be honest, I think we should listen to our bodies. Maybe your body knows more sometimes than you know, give it credit. If your body feels this isn't right, this feels wrong, maybe we should say, maybe I should pay attention.
Let me ask you this. If somebody comes to you for help, are you able to physically help them with your abilities, or do you help them by knowing what's wrong, by seeing what the problem is and then letting them know? And
are you speaking about healing type things?
Healing, emotional,
yes.
If somebody's got a problem. How does that process work?
Well, it's all the above. Again, it's like every person is different and every situation is different. And so I don't say, come to me, I will heal you or make it better. I don't say anything. I just say, come up or not, I will talk with you, we'll see what happens. I don't like to confine myself or them. I just like the energy to do what the energy's going to do. But yeah, sometimes now I will tell you, you can feel in people's energy a certain knot or void, and you can just kind of work that. People a lot of times will leave and they feel better. And I'm thinking, you should, because I just gave you a tranquility energy. But I don't always talk about it. I just feel like, just do what you do.
Does that drain you to do that?
It is extremely draining. Thank you very much. And, that's a lesson I'm learning because I am grandmother age now, and I have had to learn that you have to be careful because, when I do this, I get kind of adult-minded. And as I told you before we even started this, and I get spacey, in other words. It does a number on your blood sugar. It does a number on you energetically. And it really can be very draining in ways that are purely physical, not to mention psychically. And usually when I'm done, it takes me a while to get back to myself, you might say, which is why I don't drive, which is why I have someone, now I drive around town and do stuff like that, but not when I'm doing sessions. There's no way. I have to settle down. Sometimes it's even, what's really weird, I will actually go the opposite of being drained and confused and tired. I will go to this really weird place where everything is crystal clear, but it's really not, and I will actually go in a direction and think I'm going exactly, this is the way home. It's nowhere near home. It just seems like everything's familiar. So it can do a number. And as far as that other goes, people, I don't know that I can do this or that. To me, I'll tell you the truth, I'm wildly surprised people come to see me at all. I think, what is wrong with all you people? But they come back, and they tell me that, yes, I've helped them, that I did this healing thing or I did this other emotional or psychic thing. That's what they tell me. Personally, I always just think, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm just kind of at a loss.